Chapter 74, Activating the First Level 1. A new day had begun. In the eyes of most students, last night had been peaceful. It was still a beautiful night of training. However, attentive students would notice several abnormalities. More accurately, many of the popular video producers in the school were howling in grief early in the morning. Some even howled in the middle of the night. The painstaking efforts they had put in over the years had all been for naught. It's not that their accounts were blocked. Instead, it was because the interface and mechanism of the trending website had changed. In the past, whenever a video producer like them released their latest video, the app would tell all of their fans. It was a notification to tell the fans that the person they're following had released a new video. That was also an important source of influence for the people who released the videos. It was also their source of money. Money was not limited to people like Lion Jinsang who did not follow the right path. There were also advertisements and other sources of income. The Wuxia Genetic Evolution College's Genetic Newcomer Social Circle was a small-scale business society. It was a society that could afford to spend more money. The accumulation of all kinds of income was rather substantial. However, the notification had been cancelled. Only when fans actively looked at their main page would they realize that they had released a new video. They could predict that their influence would decrease drastically in the future. Their income would also decrease drastically. Many of the video producers were furious and suggested that they look for the publicity department. How could the school be like this? They only wanted to earn some money from the hard work and entertain the public. They were very obedient to the school. All of the achievements that they had accumulated over the years were gone just like that. They were indignant. However, a piece of gossip that followed caused everyone to shiver. The famous video creator of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, Eternity Begins, Lion Jinsang, was taken away by the people from the Special Intelligence Division stationed in the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. This piece of news instantly infuriated many people, the kind that blew up their hair. The difference in departments meant that the nature of the matter was different. The intervention of the disciplinary division would be handled internally by the school, no matter how serious the matter was. Getting expelled was the most severe punishment. However, the fact that the Special Intelligence Division was directly arresting someone meant that they were suspected of a crime. At the same time, it also meant that the disciplinary division had agreed to the matter. In the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, it was impossible for the Special Intelligence Division to take the students away without informing the disciplinary division. This meant that the matter was serious. Many of the producers immediately shut their mouths. At noon, they received another message. Another video producer was taken away by the Special Intelligence Division. At the same time, 3 other video producers were brought to the disciplinary division for questioning. Many insiders roughly understood that the things that Lion Jinsang did were exposed. Rumors started to spread everywhere. Some students noticed that the name of the standing vice chairman of the school's publicity department, Kong Linfang, was gone. There was a rumor that Kong Linfang, the vice chairman of the school's publicity department, had been sent to the intergalactic battlefield in advance for rotational defense because of the viral videos. To put it nicely, he was sent there in advance. In reality, he had been temporarily sent away. At noon, while the students were discussing among themselves, the Academic Affairs Office issued a few consecutive announcements. The first announcement was especially shocking. The third-year student from the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, Lion Jinsang, and the third-year student, Liu Cheng, had used the influence of their school's video account as a base point to extort students. The sum of money involved was 1.4 million and 600,000 respectively. The situation was extremely serious and had a negative impact. The case had been handed over to the judiciary for further investigation and further action. Handing them over to the judiciary meant that they were completely done for. Getting an expulsion order was an extravagant hope. Lion Jinsang was done for this time. The second announcement was related to Mr. Wen Xiao. Professor Wen Xiao, vice chairman of the School of Superbs of the Mystery Branch, did not notice the abnormalities in the battle in time and adjusted the state of the battle when he was giving the first-year students a lesson on the application of actual combat of the Mystery Branch. He had failed to fulfill his duty and responsibilities. He had taken immense responsibility for the matter of Deng Wei's disability. He did not manage to clarify the matter in time after the incident and trigger public opinion. The school had decided after some research that Wen Xiao would be stripped of his position as the vice chairman of the School of Superbs. Wen Xiao would not be able to receive an excellent rating or advance to the next level for the next year. The school would deduct the additional allowances for the next year and will write a self-reflection. The third announcement was about Zhu Tun and Deng Wei. The Wuxia Genetic Evolution College had always encouraged competition. Only through intense competition could a true powerhouse be born. Only then could innovation be created. Only through intense competition could more people improve at a rapid rate. However, malicious competition was not encouraged. Thus, the school would give Deng Wei and Zhu Tun a stern warning for the incident and make them reflect on their actions. The entire school was shocked by the three announcements. This was especially so for the final announcement. Many students felt that it was rather unreasonable. Why would the person who was crippled and the person who caused that receive the same treatment? They had not even made any angry protests when they realized that the Academic Affairs Office had sent a link to the entire school. The link was a video of the hottest topic in the school. It was a trending video released by the Academic Affairs Office. It was also a video of Zhu Tui fighting Deng Wei yesterday. However, the perspective was different. The video that Lion Jinzhang had sent yesterday was from the perspective of Deng Wei. However, the video that was released by the Academic Affairs Division was captured by the surveillance cameras in the multipurpose hall. Deng Wei had challenged Zhu Tui from the School of Enlightened Mind twice. The intensity of Deng Wei's battle with Che Zan was a stark contrast to the intensity of Zhu Tui's battle. What caused the entire school to be in an uproar was that Deng Wei had actively asked for a video recording before he fought Zhu Tui. This was Deng Wei intentionally causing trouble and humiliating Zhu Tui. It was confirmed. No need to say any more. He deserved it. The School of Enlightened Mind of the Mystery Branch was useless to begin with. They did not have any exceptional abilities. Deng Wei, a level E genetic liberator of the Extreme Branch, actively provoked Zhu Tui and even took the initiative to record a video. No one would believe him if he said that he did not do it intentionally. The matter was finally settled at this point. Of course, there were still people who sympathized with Deng Wei. After all, he had been crippled. However, everyone had different thoughts. The school could not interfere with that. Wen Xiao felt extremely uncomfortable when he saw the announcement. He did not care about the rest of the announcements. What he cared about was that he was immediately stripped of his position as the vice chairman of the Mystery Branch Institute School of Superbs. This made Wen Xiao feel so much pain that he could not breathe. He had managed a major class for 3 consecutive years for the sake of being a vice chairman. Even though it would not affect his training, it would definitely affect his abilities. With this vice chairman, he would be able to jump another level and become the chairman. If he jumped again, he would become the vice chairman of the school and become one of the members of the school committee. A member of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College's committee could enter the Wuxia Genetic Committee. However, he had been dismissed from his post and returned to square one. He wasted several years in this process. FCAC, am I unlucky? Wen Xiao had a dark expression. It was indeed an accident that Deng Wei had beaten up Zhu Tui. However, such accidents were too common in the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. It was normal for them to be injured in class. Everything would be fine after they were treated. It was free anyway. However, Zhu Tui had been too brutal when he attacked. He had immediately crippled the teenager. The matter had blown up, and then, was Zhu Tui born to go against me? At that thought, Wen Xiao stood up abruptly. No, I have to look for the dean. I have to look for Vice Chairman Wei. This matter is not only related to me. Why should I be the scapegoat? At noon, in a dormitory in Area A, Yuan Shu suddenly appeared in front of Ma Zixu. Did you have anything to do with Lion Jinzhang extorting money from Zhu Tui? Yuan Shu suddenly asked. No, the dark-skinned Ma Zixu shook his head in a hurry. You really didn't. Why did I hear that you had drinks with Lion Jinzhang? Yuan Shu asked. We just got to know each other. Halfway through his sentence, Ma Zixu suddenly said a little anxiously, Brother Yuan, I only mentioned it casually when I was drinking. I told Lion Jinzhang that Zhu Tui has low-grade level D rights and that he must be very valuable. Just the 1,000 contribution points were worth a fortune. I think he might have taken those words to heart. It's alright. You didn't directly participate in the matter of Lion Jin's hang, right? Yuan Shu asked. No. That's good. Oh, yes, you should do less of such child's play in the future, Yuan Shu suddenly said. Brother Yuan, what do you mean? The 3 months of protection is up. If I have the chance, I'll crush Zhu Tun in the Longhu arena and completely defeat him. Or perhaps I could choose not to take action. However, once I did, I would make sure that my enemies could never recover. This kind of child's play will only make your enemies wary and even look down on you. It will voiceless. Yuan Shu left after he said his piece. Ma Zixu was left alone with a dark expression, but his face had always been dark. Zhu Tui once again became a famous student in the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. The pinned surveillance footage from the Academic Affairs Office transformed Zhu Tui from an abuser to a victim. Even though he still did not have a good reputation in the extreme branch, they no longer harbored any fundamental hatred for the other party. Most of the students could return to a rational perspective. Zhu Tui continued his fulfilling and nervous college life. He started to make more reasonable use of his time. He made use of every second he had to train. In the past, he would train at night. He first forged his consciousness every night to train the explosive power of his mind power. Then, he had to focus and train to activate his genetic base points. He sleeps before his mind power is completely depleted. Then he will feel energetic after a night of rest. Under such a situation, he could only train once a day. However, Zhu Tui would need 4 to 6 hours at most to fully recover his depleted mind power after he emptied his mind and entered a state of deep sleep during meditation. He felt that he was wasting time. Zhu Tui started to plan out a new training time. For example, he could train for 40 minutes after lunch. He would use a bottle of level E energy restoration elixir, then seize the time to take an hour-long nap. A portion of the mind power that was expended would be recovered. Zhu Tui fell asleep extremely quickly after he practiced meditation for more than a decade. He did not have any trouble of not being able to sleep like the other students. After the physical training in the afternoon, Zhu Tui first consumed a few level F energy restoration pills and made use of the time to train. He then forged his consciousness and the explosive power of his mind power. Then, he went to eat. When he returned, he slept for another hour and a half to recover his mind power. It was only 8:30 in the night after doing all that. Other students might have trouble sleeping at night if they slept an hour and a half in the afternoon, but it was not a problem for Zhu Tui. He then started to study theory and read. He trained for another hour at night before falling asleep at midnight. Time was tight. The time he spent in training had increased by more than half. The energy he expended increased again. However, his training also progressed rapidly. On Sunday morning, Zhu Tui, who was now brimming with energy, was not in a hurry to get off the bed. He consumed a bottle of level E energy restoration elixir and entered the illusory introspective state. He then started the training that he had not finished yesterday night. 30 minutes later, Zhu Tui opened his eyes. The 36th genetic base point, which was also the last genetic base point of the first level of version 4.9 Mind Concentration Foundation Forging Technique, had been activated.